Welcome to MojoPlays, where today we'll be taking a look at 20 of the most stressful video game bosses of all time. Before we get started, we post new videos all week long, so be sure to subscribe to MojoPlays and ring that bell to be notified about our latest videos. Simon, Clare Obscure, Expedition 33.
I'll lay you to rest, my friend.
Simon is the type of boss who makes you question whether you're playing a game or just being punished for something you did in a past life. He's brutally fast, hits like a truck, and throws out so many feints and follow-ups that parrying becomes more about psychic prediction than skill. And even if you somehow survive the first half of the fight, the second half doesn't hold back. It actually gets worse. His design is beautiful, his moveset is horrifying, and his difficulty? Let's just say your controller probably won't survive. If stress burned calories, Simon would be a gym membership. Nameless Puppet, Lies of P. So you've beaten every boss, mastered dodging, and feel like a real puppet-slaying pro. Great. Here's the Nameless Puppet to absolutely humble you. This final boss hits hard and relentlessly. With no specter to bail you out, you're stuck relying on your instincts, reflexes, and a whole lot of retrying. His second phase turns into a twitchy ballet of sword clashes, lightning-fast combos, and split-second dodging. Even when you know what's coming, you can still mess up and lose it all in seconds. It's less of a fight and more of a, are you sure you want this platinum trophy test? Gigas, Earthbound. Gigas doesn't fight fair. He doesn't even fight with logic. This is the boss of psychological breakdowns. The screen distorts, the music turns into a static scream, and your attacks feel completely pointless. His form is abstract, his dialogue is chilling, and the only way to win is to pray? No, seriously. It's one of the most unforgettable and stress-inducing boss battles ever because you feel helpless the whole time. No amount of grinding can prepare you for this emotional gut punch. When you beat him, you're not even relieved. You're just confused and maybe a little traumatized. Valkyrie Queen Sigrun, God of War. Sigrun is what happens when every Valkyrie you've beaten so far gets bored and fuses into one hyper-aggressive death machine. She's fast, like unfairly fast. She'll swoop, slam, slash, and scream all in a single move. And if you mistime your dodge, Kratos might as well lie down and accept it. She's the true final boss and the game's way of saying, okay, now prove you really learned something. One mistake and you better be ready to start from the beginning again. And don't even think about fighting her on Give Me God of War mode unless you've got the reflexes of a caffeinated hawk. Durge, Shadow of the Colossus. You'd think fighting a giant worm in the desert would be kinda cool, right? Nope. Durge turns into a full-blown panic attack on horseback. This sandworm senses your movement, then launches at you through the dunes like a heat-seeking missile. The narrow canyon it chases you through is just wide enough for aggro, but not wide enough for your nerves. Then you have to turn around, shoot it in the eye, and cling on as it thrashes. It's like a rodeo from hell, and missing a single step usually ends in ragdoll physics and regret. The Nameless King, Dark Souls 3. Just when you think you've conquered Dark Souls 3, FromSoftware introduces a boss so punishing they didn't even bother giving him a real name. The Nameless King shows up riding a storm dragon and rains lightning and pain all over you. That's just phase 1. In phase 2, he hops off and personally hands you your behind with a combo of sweeping attacks, lightning pokes, and crushing slams. He's optional though, so approach him at your own discretion. His difficulty is legendary, and so is the number of rage quits he's caused. It's simply just not a fair fight. It's a trial by thunder. Spawn of Ogdu Bogdu, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Remember Ogdu Bogdu from Fallen Order? Yeah, he's back and now he has a kid. And somehow, the kid is even more annoying. The spawn of Ogdu Bogdu may look like a big frog, but he fights like a ninja in disguise. He chains his moves unpredictably, swallows you whole if you mess up, and hops around like he's caffeinated. The arena is tiny, and one wrong dodge means your dinner. It's a surprise fight too, so most players stumble into it totally unprepared, which makes the ambush feel more like a prank from the developers than a fair boss encounter. Pyramid Head, Silent Hill 2. You know you're in trouble when the boss fight is less about survival and more about psychological trauma. Pyramid Head isn't stressful in the traditional sense. He's stressful because you never know when he's gonna appear, and when he does, you're completely outmatched. He's not there to fight fair, more so there to torment. The scraping of his blade, the slow unstoppable walk, and the fact that you can't really win in the early encounters, yeah, that'll stick with you. He may haunt James, but he also haunts every player who ever turned a corner and heard that metal dragging across the floor. Sephiroth, Kingdom Hearts 2.
I wonder if it won't change its mind once I defeat you.
Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts 2 is what happens when a JRPG legend crashes the Disney party with a grudge. He's optional, sure, but that's just Square Enix taunting you. The guy is faster than a sugar rush keyblade and hits like a freight train. You barely land a hit before he's teleporting across the screen, throwing meteor showers and demanding perfect dodges. Your reward for beating him? Bragging rights. That's it. If you're the kind of player who fights Sephiroth just for fun, we're both impressed and concerned, because nothing about this fight is chill. It's chaos wrapped in silver hair and flames.
Heartless angel. That's enough.
Grim Matchstick, Cuphead. Ah yes, the dragon from hell. Literally. Grim Matchstick is Cuphead's fire-breathing stress monster who turns a cute cartoon into a living nightmare. The platforms scroll, the fireballs bounce, and he somehow gets worse with every phase. By the end, he's spewing fire and has you dancing in the clouds, and you're just trying not to lose all your hearts from falling all the time. His attacks come in weird patterns and you'll swear the RNG is personally mocking you. It's one of those fights where you either beat him or he beats your will to continue. The only thing grim about this dragon is how many lives he's ruined. Osma, the first Berserker Kazan. If you thought Kazan was rough, wait until Osma decides to ruin your week. Osma is a teleport-happy nightmare who blends raw power with infuriating mechanics like damage reflection, unavoidable AoEs, and attacks that look like you're trapped in a cursed screensaver. This boss moves fast, punishes mistakes instantly, and gives you zero time to breathe. You'll need absolute mastery of your kit and the reflexes of a caffeinated ninja just to survive. It's less of a fight and more of a brutal performance review from the gods. One where the only feedback is, try not dying so fast.
It's all over.
Consort Radahn, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree. If you thought base game Radahn was tough, his new form as Consort laughs in the face of your past suffering. Faster, stronger, and somehow even more aggressive, Radahn in Shadow of the Erdtree throws out combos like he's speedrunning your funeral. His upgraded gravity attacks yank you across the arena, and he barely gives you 2 seconds to chug your flask in peace. Even experienced Tarnished are calling this one of FromSoftware's most intense fights. And hey, if you missed the meteor attack from his first phase, don't worry, it's back, and yes, it's still terrifying. Ravenbeak, Metroid Dread. Ravenbeak challenges and he disrespects you. This is Metroid Dread's final boss, and boy, does he go out with style and suffering. He's fast, unrelenting, and mixes brutal melee combos with screen-filling projectiles. The timing windows for dodges feel designed by a sadist with a stopwatch. Plus, the fight evolves through multiple phases, each with its own flavor of pain. Parrying is critical but insanely precise, and if you slip up, you're toast. But when you finally land that finishing blow, Samus doesn't hesitate, and neither will you as you collapse in victory and emotional exhaustion. Shao Kahn, Mortal Kombat series. Shao Kahn is a brick wall with a hammer and an ego problem. Across nearly every Mortal Kombat game he appears in, he's the definition of unfair. He taunts you mid-fight, spams shoulder charges, and hits like your health bar owes him money. Worst part, he reads your inputs like he's got a wiretap on your controller.
You will die.
He's so notoriously difficult that even pro players dread him. And when he finally yells "you suck" after flattening you for the 10th time in a row, yeah, it's personal now. What a jerk. Ornstein and Smo, Dark Souls. Ornstein and Smo are Dark Souls' ultimate bad cop, worst cop routine. You walk into their cathedral and are immediately greeted by a lightning-fast knight and a fat guy with a hammer the size of your nightmares. Separating them is nearly impossible, and focusing on one means the other's going to flatten you like a pancake. Whoever you kill first, the other one just absorbs their power. This duo has broken more players than any other boss in the game, and the infamous run back to their room is its own kind of emotional damage. Orphan of Kos, Bloodborne. The Orphan of Kos doesn't ease you into the fight, like, at all. It just screams at you and then beats you to death with its own placenta. No joke. This final boss from the Old Hunters DLC is erratic, relentless, and wildly unpredictable. His first phase is brutal, but once he hits phase 2, he becomes a literal blur of screaming, leaping carnage. He moves like he's double-jointed in every limb and sounds like a banshee on fire. If you win, it's because you've mastered dodging, patience, and maybe cried a little between attempts. Congratulations, you just survived the angriest baby in video games. Sans, Undertale. You'd think a goofy skeleton with a hoodie and bad puns wouldn't be terrifying, until you try the genocide route. Sans is the ultimate punishment for being a terrible person in Undertale. He dodges every attack, teleports constantly, and throws out gravity-flipping, screen-shaking chaos from the start. It's death by bullet hell, and he only gives you one health bar to work with. No second chances. You can't even pause to think. Beating Sans is a badge of both pride and guilt, because if you're fighting him, it means you made every wrong choice and he's here to make you pay. Absolute Radiance, Hollow Knight. You know you're in for it when the boss has Absolute in their name. This is a vertical bullet hell opera. Absolute Radiance floods the screen with projectiles, death beams, and teleporting dive bombs, all while you desperately cling to tiny platforms and your sanity. And on Radiant difficulty, one hit and it's over. No second chances. The rhythm of the fight is punishing and random enough to keep even skilled players guessing. It'll take a lot more to beat Absolute Radiance with just brute force. You have to beat it with monk-like patience, precision, and maybe a little prayer. Or 2. Maybe 7. Ishin, the Sword Saint. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Ishin is the final mountain in Sekiro, and trust us, you're gonna feel every painful step. He's got 3 full phases, each more intense than the last, and he mixes katana combos, giant AoEs, gunshots, and lightning strikes like a samurai who moonlights as a one-man war. Even if you've mastered deflecting, he'll test your reflexes and your resolve. No boss in the game better encapsulates everything Sekiro tries to teach you. You'll die a lot. But when you finally win, it feels earned, like you've genuinely become the shinobi the game molded you into through sheer force of will. Malenia, Blade of Mikola, Elden Ring.
I am Malenia, Blade of Mikola.
Malenia is pain. Elegant, graceful, merciless pain. She's not trapped in that arena with you. You are definitely trapped in that arena with her. Unless you're the legendary Let Me Solo Her, of course. She heals every time she lands a hit, has a weapon longer than your hopes and dreams, and her infamous waterfowl dance has made grown adults scream at their TVs. And just when you think she's done, she becomes the goddess of rot and throws scarlet rot bombs and phantom clone dives at you like it's a festival of despair. She's so hard that players made entire builds just to counter her. But if you beat her, you walk away knowing you've conquered the Queen of Stress. Which one of these bosses stressed you out the most? Take a breather and let us know down in the comments.